First two,
right.
All of a sudden you're creditable because the crew chief, the driver, put it all together along with the crew, and you find yourself in victory lane.
And what if none of those happen?
And if none of those happen, then you have deniability.
There you go.
That's the fourth
that's
one.
your job, not mine.
We'll count you down to the start of the race. That's where we're headed, the Coca-Cola 600. And Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, teammates, and family feuds in racing. We'll look at the big picture and try to solve some of these. We welcome you back just outside Charlotte, North Carolina on Memorial Day weekend for the Coca-Cola 600 and NASCAR on Fox. And nearly a fourth of the cars that came here this weekend had some military memorial paint scheme. All branches of the military, our military represented here. We appreciate their service and honor those who have fallen for our country. And David Rudemann's Aaron's Dream Machine today honoring the Armed Forces Foundation. The team will give up to $200,000 if David can win the race. Rudemann was the winner in last year's rain-shortened race. No threat of rain today. Casey Kane's 9 Budweiser car carrying a tribute to the armed forces. And today the crew, they met with Rocky Sigmund, who's the director of military sales for Anheuser-Busch. Rocky helped coordinate the Here's to the Heroes tour, and it salutes and supports the men and women of our armed forces. And while on duty as a Marine, Rocky was held hostage in Iran for over 440 days before his release, a true American hero. Jeff, we always appreciate the military as they come by here and say what kind of NASCAR fans they are, and we certainly are fans of what they do.
Yeah, we really do. We celebrate our men and women of the armed forces each and every day. But on Memorial Day, we want to honor and remember those who have given their lives in the line of duty, defending our country and its freedoms. So this Memorial Weekend, let's say thank you to them, their families, and the loved ones for the ultimate sacrifice they gave.
When you think of famous teammate sports feuds, you think of Shaq and Kobe, Terrell Owens and any of his quarterbacks, Reggie Jackson and his manager, Billy Martin. This year, NASCAR has caught the feuding fever, as Jeff shows us here. The motto for this season could be, maybe there is an I in team.
Back in Daytona, NASCAR said the gloves are off, but we didn't think it'd be teammates be doing the battling. First off, it was Jamie Mack and Juan Pablo going at it in Las Vegas.
All I know is I believe there's a team meeting coming. He nearly run into the fence out of 2 as well, and going to 3, and then plain simple just wrecked us.
That was nothing. Then we had 2 4-time champions had brush-ups on the track and words off.
Whoa, they hit!
4 times a little upset.
I'm pretty disappointed in how he was racing me today.
Jimmy Johnson crowded Jeff Gordon down on the apron.
48 is testing my patience, and I'm pissed.
And if you thought that was bad, well, the latest and probably the greatest was between Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. They say it was over, but I beg to differ.
I don't think I'd typically run myself into the fence.
Whoa! Put him in the wall!
He was never there. There was never a hole for his car to fit in. 4 or 5 laps later, destroyed the race car.
Somebody better keep me away from Denny Hamlin after this race.
Of course, I was heated after the race.
I had this race won. It was won.
He does it to himself, you know, and I took it amongst myself to go straight to Denny Hamlin's trailer because I wanted to make sure that it was handled right then and there.
I don't want to be part of it. You know, any drama that he wants to create or anything is on him.
You know, last week should have went a little bit differently.
Are we teammates with 10 to go at the All-Star race? I said no.
His reception was it's the All-Star race, it's every man for himself, and I wasn't under that impression.
Each year, I think Kyle's going to grow out of it, and he just doesn't.
You know, I race with respect.
I didn't say that I'm going to take over this team or be the leader of this team, but somebody's got to be the leader. It ain't going to be Kyle.
Ooh, get you some of that, Kyle.
Well, it's clear I don't think he really cares. Would you put Denny Hamlin ahead of Kyle Busch in the championship
Well,
race?
Certainly he was a favorite when the season started. Most people were pointing a finger for somebody that could beat Jimmy Johnson. It was going to be Denny Hamlin, so maybe he's trying to live up to that.
Why do you think we're seeing these kind of feuds, if we can call them that? It seems more than normal.
Because there's only one first place.
Yeah.
That's only one first place, folks. And that's what happens when you got good equipment like Joe Gibbs has, you know, whether it's, you know, Nasty Race and Hendrick, it doesn't matter. When you're racing for number one, there only can be one winner. They just happen to be teammates.
All right, and Kyle and Denny, they've won 5 of the last 7 races. We'll hear from them. Denny is with Matt Yoakum.
It was a fireworks-filled all-star race a week ago. Comments during the week, but Denny Hamlin, what's been the most frustrating part of the situation, the dust-up between yourself and your teammate Kyle Busch?
Well, it's tough to say what the toughest part is. I mean, you know, it's tough when you expect one thing from a teammate and kind of get another, and you know, it goes both ways. But you know, for us, our biggest challenge is just trying to get a grip on this racetrack. It's been not too bad for us. I felt like we had a really good car in practice with our FedEx office car. We'll just see what we got in the race.
Looking for his first Charlotte win, but he has won 3 of the last 7 races coming into the Coca-Cola 600. Chris Devoda?
Well, Kyle's been to victory lane at this track 9 times, including yesterday afternoon, but never on a Sunday. Sorry to bring that up. But last week in that incident with your teammate, you said you're a different driver now, taking cues from guys like Mark Martin and Tony Stewart. Is that what it takes to win a marathon race like this?
It certainly will be, Krista. You know, we've got a lot going on for here tonight with 600 miles and the pace you've got to run here during the day, and then, of course, it changes for the nighttime. So a lot happens in 600 miles here. Hopefully with great pit stops by the crew and the M&M's pretzel car being up front all night, we can try to bring home a win.
All right, well, remember, he won that truck race here last week, so should he win tonight, he will pull off the Triple Crown, which he barely missed at Dover.
Thanks, Kristen. They're trying to win the race here, but Kyle Busch starts directly behind Denny Hamlin, nose to tail. Well, that's a long race tonight.
What does that mean?
But listen, just like today, I was watching the Formula 1 race.
They could go nose to nose.
No, but in the Formula 1 race, 2 teammates took each other out today, going for the win. Listen, I never was a big fan of having a lot of teammates, and Jeff will tell you that. But you know,
he does not play well with
even now.
Let me tell you why. Because my teammate always thought I was supposed to do something for him. Always wants me to help him. Listen, I'm not out there to help anybody. I'm out there to win the race for myself and for my race team. And a lot of this stuff is off the racetrack.
Right.
Somebody gets more pub. Somebody, you know, Kyle's winning a lot of races, and I mean, it's just a big, it's a big mess.
It's a never-ending battle when you try to be passionate about trying to win. I mean, that's all there is to it. I like this guy right here. I like Kyle Busch and the way he goes at everything because he wants to be a champion. He wants to be a winner. The problem is there's 42 other guys that do too.
Yeah, I talked to Joe Gibbs this week, and he said, look, in football, it's a different kind of team thing. You're right, Darrell. During the week, teams out on the racetrack, it's everybody for himself. One guy, you talk about Penske Racing, Kurt Busch. It's the lone Dodge Group. He's an all-star winner. How will he do here? We'll talk to him and take a look straight ahead. The Coca-Cola 600 on Fox is sponsored by Sprint, proud sponsor of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. NASCAR on Fox takes you to the 94th Indianapolis 500, the great American sports spectacle. Elio Castroneves, last year's winner, and the pole sitter, Danica Patrick, hoping to have a good finish. And look out, Mike Conway, a gruesome crash, taken to the hospital with a leg injury. Dario Franchitti wins under caution, his second Indy 500 win. And owner Chip Ganassi on the pit box, enjoying the success. And, of course, he has become the first owner to have the Daytona 500 victory with Jamie McMurray and the Indy 500 in the same year, and maybe a Coke 600 for Chip Ganassi.
You know, my buddy Dario, he lives there in Franklin, so bring home the money, buddy. And bring the milk to town. We need it. But, you know, I love Chip Ganassi. We got 3 superstar owners in our sport. And I'm not talking about Hendrick Childress and Roush. I'm talking about Gibbs, Super Bowl winner, Daytona, and championship
2 championships.
Winner. And you got Ganassi, who's won the Daytona 500 and now the Indy 500. And Roger Penske, Daytona 500 and the Indy 500. We got some superstars in this sport, not just car guys.
Yeah, Kurt Busch helping his teammate win a Daytona 500.
Congratulations, Chip. Great job.
Good job, man. Good job.
We'll see him here at the race as soon as he can zip over. Kurt Busch starting from the front row alongside pole sitter Ryan Newman this evening. And though Kurt's never won a points race here or even finished in the top 10 in this race, as of Saturday night, he officially loves this track, and he can give you a million reasons why.
No mistakes right here for that cool million. Bring it to the line, Big Daddy. Off the board. Way to go, boys. Woo! Kurt Busch is still on top.
Kurt, the big question is, does momentum carry over from the All-Star win tonight?
Oh, we hope it does. We've got the same setup in the car, and it's really good at nighttime. And I've struggled going from day to night here, so if I can get through the day, then we'll be all right. Once the nightfall comes in, the shade overcomes the racetrack, then that's when we got to start attacking with the Miller Lite Dodge. So hopefully it's a good night for us.
Good luck, Kurt.
Thanks a lot.
Capable of the sweep, the All-Star race. A big difference in the races, obviously, same track.
Yeah, short spurts, and this is an endurance race tonight. It really is. You got to put it out there and just take care of your stuff and get to the finish.
But hopefully they figured out something. Again, I talked to him early in the week, and that was what he was hoping for, was being able to go back to the shop, take the car that he'd run in the All-Star race,